谢谢，我们是成都本地的返校人。一般。
They are scrappy. 𝗵𝗪𝗸 is a three-piece from Chengdu, and they are very much grunge. Their name is a very Chinese word. It means the day scheduled for school children to come in during vacation to get their homework checked. Although I saw it translated elsewhere as homecoming. Although they, I think, translate it as riot in school. Places that translate it as homecoming list them next to Spider-Man Homecoming. They obviously owe a big debt of influence to not just Nirvana, but Dinosaur Jr., Sonic Youth, and the whole grunge landscape. People who are familiar with the live music scene in China have reliably told me the audience for this is college kids, not anyone older than that. So Peter and I are often the oldest people in the club, besides the bands themselves sometimes. And while the 90s, numerically are very far away, the alt grunge scene of 90s America is still very alive in present alternative Chinese rock. The band's a local Chengdu band, and it's always fun to see the hometown band in their city. It's as if they were imported from Seattle straight to Chengdu almost. Researching this band was a little difficult because they're actually too small for Douban, which is like, for lack of a better comparison, Chinese IMDb for all media. But they are on an app that I just found called 𝗖𝗵cie, and they even have some of their songs behind a paywall, so I hope that means they're getting paid. They had simple chords, fast riffs, and a banging drum beat that we didn't even know how to play our instruments, but that didn't stop us from forming a band kind of energy. Even their look is very Seattle from the 90s. The lead singer even had that Kurt Cobain pink Kool-Aid dyed hair, and he just struck such a curt posture. Flannel and frizzy hair, which seems to be a signifier in China of grunge or alternative music, which I think is interesting, having frizzy hair myself. Their songs were very energetic with distorted guitars and just a bounding rhythm. They had song titles like Sick Kid, or The Person Who Died at the Party, or Youth Arson, or A Room with No Doors. So they're working through some angst. The rest of the crowd is all young people, but it's an interesting youth movement based on a youth movement from my youth. Which is interesting for me because that's when I was in middle school in America, was when all these bands were popular. And so to come over here and then see these bands playing live, and it's not a tribute band at all. And they also kind of incorporated a 70s punk sound. They actually did a cover of the Stooges' I Wanna Be Your Dog. Pretty good job of it as well. I mean, I joke that like the lead singer was doing a Kurt Cobain imitation, but like he was doing his thing. He wasn't trying to be somebody else. He was just very heavily influenced. So it is like very living and important still, and not at all a throwback. I mean, always at these shows, the kids are really enthusiastic, but they love their hometown bands. They only formed in 2019, so they have 2 EPs out.